This is KSA Norine here at Hidden Forest Art Gallery, 1492 Via Montserrat with Lise and Gum here in beautiful Fallbrook. And I'm going to switch the camera around so Lise can tell us about the art gallery. She's the administrator here. She's been with the art gallery for 21 years. And we're first going to start off by sharing a book, a very special book.
Hi, this is Gamini's latest book. It's called Brushes with Nature, and it's a sketchbook as well as written, and it talks about his childhood growing up in Sri Lanka before he came here in the mid-'80s. He came here in 1986, and he's been in Fallbrook ever since. He's a self-taught artist, originally from Sri Lanka, and as a child, he had a pet elephant. And that's how we met, because I was doing volunteer work for the Elephant Alliance.
Nice.
And another book that we've recently done is Grief's Labyrinth, and it's my poetry with Gom's illustrations. This is our second book we've collaborated together. The first one is called Traveling with Pen and Brush. And when we travel together, Gom does sketches much like these in the field, and then I write poetry, and that's just how we remember our trips.
Is there a little poem that you could read to us?
Yes, this is about Gamini's creative process.
It doesn't have to be long, or it could be short or long. Yeah.
Gamini, each stroke unhurried and researched, each color expertly chosen for depth and value, each paintbrush resembling the tools of eons, each figure reflecting triangles of light, each sunbeam catching the spirit of his laughter, each raindrop enveloping the pain of his sorrows, each eye reflecting the souls he has lived amongst, each leaf reflecting nature as it is, full of lessons and wisdom, each masterpiece, each signature, reflecting the beauty that only his lifetime could create.
Oh my God, I love it.
And both of these are available at our gallery. This is $40 and this is $15. And one of the things that I do for GOM is organize our art workshops. And this Saturday we'll have an art workshop from 10 to 3. You just show up, bring a lunch. We have all the art supplies. And
what kind of art medium?
Acrylic gouache on canvas.
Okay.
And we're sponsored by Jerry's Artorama, so all the materials are provided, and you leave with a completed painting.
Nice.
So we're thinking of monkeys this week, but when the class gets together, if the vibe is different, we're really inspired by that because we just returned from a trip to Costa Rica where we saw howler monkeys and white-faced monkeys. But if the group has a strong passion of what they want to paint for Christmas gifts, they might want a bird, then we'll lean that way. So there's a lot of flexibility.
How long have you been writing poetry?
I started when I was 4, and I started being published when I was 17.
Wow.
I have 3 books published.
Nice.
So professionally, I guess you'd say 33 years.
Nice. Very
and
cool.
has been a professional artist for 50 years.
Yes.
But he started painting when he was 4.
That's adorable. Isn't that cute watching your little boy painting?
Selling art. No, Gom is my husband. So he started selling his artwork professionally at 19.
Yes.
He just turned 69. So it's been amazing. He's traveled the world, over 55 countries. He's a dual citizen. He adores America and Sri Lanka. And
yes.
Really reflects the beauty that he sees in both places.
Did you mention that you had met him over there?
I actually met him here.
Okay.
There was
for
Elephant Alliance fundraiser in La Jolla, and he was donating prints. And I got so excited about it. I bought like 17 raffle tickets to win the print. And I had just resigned as director.
It's a lot of tickets.
Schools.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you want a job?" when I stopped by. And I said, "Yes, very much."
Did he fall in love with you at that moment?
No. It was complicated. We were married to other people when I started working for him. And we both went through divorces 6 months apart, a couple years later, and we both had full custody of our children. And we just kept doing more and more together and working together side by side in mom and pop. You really get to know each other.
Yes, exactly.
So we went to Africa together and fell totally in love, and that was it. So we've been married going on 17 years this year. And
happy anniversary to both of you.
Thank you. And it'll be 21 years at the gallery in March.
Nice. And you, mentioned that you had a art gallery in the historic part of
We used to
Fallbrook.
be, originally he was in Victorian Village, and then he was on Main Street for 10 years, and then for 22 years we were on Live Oak Park Road, tucked behind the Collector Jewelry Store.
Yes.
So this is my husband, Gamini, the artist. I'm going to turn you over to him. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Hi. So this is the artist himself. Thank you for joining us today. It's a privilege and honor to meet you and to do this live interview with you. I've been here in your gallery just admiring all your pieces of work. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Your wife had mentioned that you started painting at 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, the reason I started painting is purely to share what I observed in nature.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and of course it didn't look like anything I wanted to show at that stage because it was just scribbles, but I was determined that one day it'll look like what I saw.
Yes.
So here I am painting true to life nature today. But
and this was it started in Sri Lanka.
Started in Sri Lanka and I was, a kid.
Yes,
but the concept behind the whole thing is to actually share and understand nature.
Yes.
So.
And you display that through your pieces of art.
Exactly.
Yes.
And when I try to be pretty authentic with what I create, especially with the fauna and the flora. So, in a nutshell, today I'm able to share it. And
what brought you guys to Fallbrook? How did you? Because unless you know about, not a lot of people know about Fallbrook, that it's here. It has a great art community, just different types of things go on here.
Well, I came to Fallbrook to see one of my friends here. The owner of the collector, Bill Larson. He has been a collector of my work while in Sri Lanka. So I met him there, and when I migrated to the States, he said, "You got to come and see me." So I came to see him, fell in love with the environment, and he was kind enough to actually take his mom's house off the market and rented it to me for 3 years. Then subsequently I bought a house. And
he was kind to you.
And then later on, as my wife mentioned, I was able to rent from him again the gallery for 22 years. And I've never moved from Fallbrook. Ever since I came to the States, I've been in Fallbrook because I love Fallbrook.
Yeah, so a friend brought you to Fallbrook, introduced you to Fallbrook. Yeah.
And then I started working with the community and with the Land Conservancy and helped them. They wanted me to do a wildlife art show of my work, but instead that I decided to help the community by bringing in some other artists and also the local artists and promote them. And that's how I started Reflections on Nature. And later on, when I met my wife, she and I directed the show for a long time, probably 15 years, I think. And no, not that long. Anyway.
And people not everyone knows this, but you're quite the famous artist as well. I was reading your bio, and some of your art pieces are in the National Geographic Society in the hall, one of the halls.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, my first piece,
you're like,
I did my sculpture.
Yes.
And that
I was like, isn't that cool?
It was exhibited at the National Geographic in the DuPont Center.
Yes, Do you have a favorite animal?
No.
You love them all?
I love all animals.
You love animals?
Yes, all animals. I have from a little mouse to an elephant.
Oh, cute. You see the beauty in all shapes and sizes.
And I see the importance in it.
Yes.
And so I paint all.
Can you go a little bit deeper about how you see the importance of the animals? Can you
Well, they have it figured out. We haven't. I choose my way of life according to what the animals have taught me, basically. Because it's only when man interferes in their life that they get messed up. Other than that, they have evolved and survived for millions of years without computers.
Yes.
Or any instruments. But yeah, I really admire and appreciate the way of life in nature. And I kind of base my life on that.
Yes.
And that's my, I would say, way of life. And the other ways, it's my philosophy is based on nature, natural phenomena. So.
Yes. And also your wife was mentioning that you guys offer art classes as well. Yes.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about that as well?
I mean, I am self-taught, and all throughout my life, I've struggled to figure out how to paint what I'm painting now by trial and error. And so I have figured out and come up with my own technique to create the true to life paintings of nature. So again, that's one way I can share it. So now it took me like 40 years to master the techniques I'm doing now. And so now I'm able to actually give it back to anybody who's interested in studying it. And of course, I don't want them to be just like what I'm doing or me, but I want them to use the techniques, because a couple of things I have figured out in my life is how to paint fast and how to make mistakes and correct the mistakes.
Yes.
So once you
just like in life too.
Yeah.
You try something, you make a mistake.
One of the problems is, as an artist, through my experience, when you try to paint and you can't get what you want to create, you get frustrated.
Yes.
And when you get frustrated, you put it aside and you never get back to it. So the reason of getting frustrated is because you can't correct your mistakes. So I figured out how to correct my mistakes. And if I can correct my mistakes, I can keep on painting. And then I can paint faster. When I paint faster, I can create more.
Yeah, that's a valuable life lesson right there.
Yeah, and as an artist, when you start creating, your creative juices flow and you all have more and more and more ideas. But if you can't create it fast enough, you're going to get frustrated.
Right.
So frustration is a block that has to be broken. So that block is broken with my new technique. I'm not new, which I have figured out in the last 40 years.
Yes.
So I can teach when my students come to study with me. They go home, they come in the morning at 10 o'clock, at 3, they have a painting completely done and they take it home. So there's a reward at the end of that.
Yeah, I think I need to attend one of your art classes now. I'm so excited.
So that's, and it's also, it's rewarding for me because I'm finally feeling like, for me and my wife both, that we are finally giving back something in the form of, I'm not a teacher, she's the teacher of the in the family, but I can teach what I have learned through my mistakes. So which is a fun thing.
Yes.
That's the art classes that we do. And we every class we choose a subject. We'll think of a different bird, like a toucan or a macaw or a hummingbird or a mammal. But we have done things like leopards and hummingbirds, macaws, toucans, and then also I teach them about how to understand the flora, to understand plant life, but how to bring it in, how to create depth of field, and to be artistically balanced, all that kind of good stuff, and make it pleasant to somebody who's looking at it.
Yes, exactly.
And it's actually creating a window of nature.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So if they can admire that and appreciate that, that's also in a very roundabout way, we are teaching them conservation.
Yes.
So we teach them about the birds, the animals that we paint, not just how to paint, but about them.
Yes, you go in depth with your art classes as well,
and we take them back to nature about it.
Yeah, because you have your some organizations, conservatory organizations that you.
Oh yeah, I'm involved in all sorts of stuff, but it's too many to talk about. But especially back in my country, in Sri Lanka, of course I can't say my country. I'm American now, so our country.
Yes.
We have got some programs going there with a research station, and we try to sponsor somebody to do work out there. Not only there, or even out here, but do work with nature. So
yes, very exciting stuff. I was hoping that you could we could look at your art pieces here, and we could talk a little about some of your your art pieces that are hanging up.
99% of the paintings I've done is what I have observed. Like a couple of the pieces have been, I'm still intrigued. I have had some experience with these species. So I try to paint, unless by request, I try to paint what I have seen or what I have had experience with.
Okay.
So for instance, the gorillas, I have had experience with them, but I have not been with them in the wild. But almost everything else, then if you go to the corner, and that's a typical scene from my country, from Sri Lanka.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's the Asian elephant with the white-bellied fish eagle and the crocodiles. And that's pretty much what you would see when you go to the national parks in Sri Lanka.
Is this some flora here?
Yeah, the water lilies and lotuses. So, and that's the next one you'll be seeing on the right hand side is lilac browed marmots. They're from Central America, and those are scarlet macaws from Central and South America. We just got back from Costa Rica, and we saw scarlet macaws there. And there's green-winged macaws and blue and gold macaws. Also, observations of those birds were done in Peru.
Very nice. I like the frames on them too.
Yeah, and then you go down and you're looking at the hammerhead sharks. Those are a scene that I've seen in the Maldives Islands because I do a lot of diving myself, and these are some of the pieces I'm creating for the upcoming show.
Nice.
The Fred Hall show. And that's Costa Rica, the resplendent quetzal. The little piece here is actually painted on glass.
Oh wow.
And that's an African elephant from Kruger Park.
That is really cool.
And this is a bronze that I have done on this particular bird, the quetzal. You can see the
So the only animal you may have not seen in person was
I have seen them in person, but I haven't.
How far away were you?
I haven't been.
Because they're strong animals.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, animals don't bother me. I feel very comfortable around them, actually.
Yeah.
So that's the red kangaroos from Australia. I spent
that's so cute.
A few months there in Australia. And this rose-breasted cockatoos. And this is a concept that I came up with.
Oh yeah, that is really interesting.
It is, I just wanted to create a corner piece. And that's
right. If anyone's looking for a corner piece,
it's a concept that nobody has done before.
Right.
But
it kind of brings it out
right,
more too.
And also to create the depth of the painting.
Right.
As well as
because from the camera view, it just gives it a deeper dimension.
Yeah. And that's the Javan kingfishers which we observed in Bali last year. And that's a jaguar from Belize.
So cute. So there's lots of birds.
There's African greys and red-tailed parrots. And this is a scene from in Kruger Park.
How long do these usually take for you to create or complete?
The large piece, it took me a couple of weeks to do it because it's oils, and oils take a long time to dry. I had to do it in stages. So that's the reason that took me a longer time. But when I normally sit down, I work on about 4 or 5 pieces at the same time.
Okay.
So I go from one to another. So in a couple of weeks, I get about four pieces or 5 pieces. And then I like to do the real miniatures, almost this life size of these little frogs.
Oh, those are adorable.
Yeah.
So cute. There's something on the leaf.
Water drops.
It's a little frog. And some flowers.
That's lotus flowers.
Lotus flowers. Looks very pretty in the frame. Accentuates it.
That's another lotus flower with a kingfisher that's found in Sri Lanka. It's called a stock-bill kingfisher.
Are any of these pieces for sale?
Everything
or
is for sale. Yeah.
If anyone's looking for some artwork, some animals or flowers, these are all for sale. And what kind of bird is this?
That's called a Himalayan monal, and it's in the peacock family, up in the Himalayan mountains. In fact, when I had my bird collection, I had a couple of pairs of those in the collection.
Is this?
That's also another one from the Himalayas called a Tragopan, and had them also in our collection.
How many countries have you traveled to?
About 56 countries.
56? Oh my gosh, you're a world traveler.
There's more paintings in here.
Okay.
Well, when I travel to places to do my studies on birds and animals and look at nature.
Yeah, so you just don't paint. You study the environments,
Yes,
you
I
study
do,
the animals.
Yes, I do field sketches when I'm traveling. This particular painting here is a study and a piece of work that I did, and that piece is now on how to paint video. So when the video starts with a blank canvas, and I show how we collect material in the wild, do sketches, and then the whole painting is created in less than an hour. And that video also is because a lot of people ask me how long does it take and how do you paint. So I finally created the video so people have access to it.
And you do have to have some patience, right, with artwork.
Well, you have to have interest.
Yeah.
And that comes along.
This is really cool.
That's a black leopard I observed in Sri Lanka.
Birds. And what animal is this up here?
That's a wallaby.
Wallaby.
Yeah, also Australian. It's like
yeah.
a little kangaroo, but a smaller species.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. And that's Mayan ruin with the jaguar and the morpho butterflies in Belize.
And you have some up here.
And this is this is two of my students. This is Lisa, and that's my son, and that's the class I taught. So that's the day's work. But the interesting thing is when I teach everybody the technique, and they have their personality and their personal view of it on each of the canvases. So it's very intriguing for me to see the development of styles.
Oh, I think I did see on Facebook or something, you have some turtle pictures, paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turtles are a special part of my life too, because I started and worked on some turtle hatcheries in Sri Lanka.
Oh,
so,
did you?
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
See, so these are all life experiences for you put into his art pieces. Yeah. So the art gallery is open to the public. However, it is by appointment only. Yeah. The gallery hours are usually from 9 to 5.
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
Oh, by appointment. By appointment.
They're flexible, but
I'm flexible because I work here.
Just give them a heads up. Give them a little call to let them know you're coming.
Yeah.
Are there any other pieces that you would like to show us today, or is this
is the collection?
Okay, great. Is there anything else you would like to let our viewers know about your gallery?
Well, come and enjoy it, and if they give me enough time, then I like to personally invite them and talk to them.
Yes.
Show them around personally with my wife, and I can do that. And
yes,
we like to that way we can give personalized attention and
right, exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.